Scorpio, something inevitable is already moving toward you, and when it arrives, it will alter the course of your destiny forever. This is not a vague prediction or a gentle suggestion. This is a divine appointment, a cosmic turning point that has been written into the fabric of your soul since before you took your first breath. You are not here by accident. You have been guided here in this exact moment to hear words that will awaken a deeper truth inside you, words you may have felt in your spirit but could never fully articulate until now. I want you to imagine this. The winds above you are shifting, the spiritual atmosphere around you is rearranging itself, and unseen hands are aligning events in a way you could not orchestrate on your own. There is a current beneath the surface of your life right now, moving with purpose, carrying you toward a threshold you cannot ignore. This threshold is not here to harm you. It is here to set you free from invisible chains you may not have even realized were still binding you. It will challenge every fiber of your being, yes, but on the other side of that challenge is a golden door you have never walked through before. When you feel the pull towards something you cannot quite name, that is often the voice of the divine whispering through the noise, calling you toward a higher path. Today, I am here not only as an astrologer, not only as a guide in energy and transformation, but also as someone deeply anchored in the wisdom of God's Word. Because real peace, lasting freedom, and authentic rebirth come when the spiritual aligns with the practical, when the wisdom of the heavens meets the grounding truth of faith. Before we go further, I need to take a moment to thank you. Every time you watch, like, comment, share, or subscribe, you do more than support a channel, you help strengthen a spiritual family. Your engagement allows us to continue bringing messages like this into the world, messages that have the power to shift lives. And for that, I am truly grateful, from the deepest part of my heart. Scorpio, I want you to stay with me until the very last moment today, because what I am about to reveal is not just a reading, it is a map. A spiritual blueprint for the weeks ahead. You are going to see why the events unfolding now are not happening to you, but for you. You will understand why certain patterns are breaking, why certain doors are closing, and why your spirit has been restless, as if sensing something monumental just beyond the horizon. So I have a question for you, and I want you to answer it in the comments so you can anchor your intention right here, right now. What made you click on this video today? Was it a dream you couldn't shake, a coincidence that felt too perfect to ignore, or simply a quiet knowing in your heart? When you declare it, you're not just telling me, you're signaling to the universe, and to God, that you are ready to receive. Stay with me. Because by the time we finish, you will not only see the path ahead more clearly, you will feel the strength to walk it with your head high, your heart open, and your spirit in alignment with both the cosmic order and the Creator's plan for your life. Scorpio, right now the sky is holding a configuration so rare that it feels as if the cosmos itself has paused to focus on you. Mars, the co-ruler of your sign, is aligning in a powerful aspect with Pluto, the deep and transformative planet that governs the very soul of Scorpio energy. This is not a casual meeting of two celestial bodies. It is the merging of your warrior spirit and your profound capacity for rebirth. Think of it as two rivers, one of fire, one of shadow, converging into a single force that carves a new path through the landscape of your life. It is both the sword and the torch, cutting away what no longer serves you and illuminating what is ready to emerge. This alignment is often described as the dance between endings and beginnings, a moment when the universe compresses time so that years of inner evolution can occur in mere weeks. You may feel as if life is speeding up, as if certain chapters are closing without warning while others open with a surge of momentum you can barely keep up with. It is not chaos for the sake of chaos. It is the precision of destiny clearing the stage so the next act of your life can begin without distractions. In astrology, Mars gives you the courage to act, the drive to pursue what matters, and the fire to protect your vision. Pluto, on the other hand, works beneath the surface, dismantling illusions, revealing hidden truths, and forcing transformation at the deepest levels of your identity. When these two energies come together in harmony, the effect is undeniable. You are gifted both the will to change and the power to make that change irreversible. This is not the kind of energy that whispers. It demands. It insists. It transforms. Numerology adds another layer to this moment. The number 9, present in this cycle, speaks of completion, of releasing what is finished, even if your heart still lingers there. The number 13, often misunderstood, is not a symbol of misfortune but of sacred renewal. It is the number of shedding old skin, of allowing what is outdated to dissolve so that something truer can take its place. Together, they weave a story of endings that are, in truth, beginnings in disguise. Even the colors associated with this period hold messages for you. Deep red, the shade of Mars, embodies strength, vitality, and the determination to move forward no matter what. Black, Pluto's color, offers protection, grounding you as you navigate uncertain terrain. Gold, shining like the promise of the future, represents abundance and the reward that comes from walking through the fire with faith in your steps. Wearing these colors, surrounding yourself with them, or even meditating on them can help align your personal energy with the greater currents at play. You might already feel this shift stirring within you, the quiet urge to let go of what no longer feels alive, the sudden clarity about what you truly value, or the subtle but persistent sense that you are standing on the edge of something vast and uncharted. This is the gateway, and once you step through it, there is no turning back to the old patterns that kept you small. It is as if life is handing you a key and saying, "The door is open now. Walk through while you have the courage." In times like this, it is essential to remain centered, to trust that even when the path ahead is unfamiliar, it is aligned with your highest good. Just as a garden must be cleared before new seeds can grow, your life is being prepared for a season of extraordinary growth. This preparation may feel intense, but it is purposeful. You are not being tested for the sake of hardship, you are being positioned for something greater. This is your moment to embrace the fire and the shadow, knowing they are both part of your transformation. And when you do, you will emerge not just changed, but reborn into the fullest expression of who you were always meant to be. Scorpio, as the cosmic tides shift, there are 3 pillars of your life that will feel this transformation most intensely, and understanding them is essential to navigating the days ahead with clarity and purpose. The first is the realm of relationships and connections, those threads of human bond that tie you to others on both visible and unseen levels. This is not just about romance or friendship, it is about the entire web of energy exchange in your life. Some of these threads have become tangled, frayed, or burdened by unspoken truths. The energy moving through your chart now is designed to break apart what no longer serves, even if that means a sudden ending. In tarot, this is the Tower moment, a dramatic dismantling of old structures, not to punish, but to create the space and freedom for something more authentic to rise. When one connection falls away, it is often so that another truer, more aligned can take its place. The second pillar lies in your identity, the deep question of who you are when stripped of roles, expectations, and the versions of yourself you have performed to fit in or keep the peace. It is like standing in front of a mirror you have never seen before, one that does not reflect the image you've carefully curated, but rather the raw essence that has always been there. This process can be unsettling because it reveals both the beauty and the shadows you have carried. Yet it is also liberating, because once you see yourself in this light, you can no longer hide from your own truth. This is the moment to acknowledge the parts of yourself you have neglected or silenced, and to let them take their rightful place in your story. The third pillar is your values and purpose. This is where the law of attraction works with precision. When you are unclear about what you truly value, life tends to send mixed opportunities, some of which leave you feeling unfulfilled. But when you decide, with unwavering certainty, what is worth your time, energy, and heart, the universe begins to match that vibration. This is not just about career or money, although those may be part of it. It is about identifying what brings meaning to your days and fulfillment to your spirit. If your energy has been scattered, this is the time to draw it back in, to pour it into what aligns with your higher vision. These three areas are interconnected. As one shifts, the others naturally follow. A relationship change can alter your sense of identity. A new understanding of your values can transform the way you connect with others. A deeper self-awareness can change the direction of your purpose entirely. The energy you are in now does not call for you to force these changes, but to allow them to remain open, even when the unknown feels daunting. Think of it as pruning a tree. Branches that no longer bear fruit must be cut away so that new growth can flourish. It is important to remember that change in these areas often feels intense because it reaches to the core of who you are. But intensity is not the same as harm. It is the mark of depth, the sign that something real is happening. And when real change is in motion, the best thing you can do is meet it with honesty, courage, and the willingness to choose what supports your growth over what feels comfortable but stagnant. The clearer you become in your relationships, the truer you are in your identity, and the more devoted you are to your values, the more effortlessly the right people, opportunities, and experiences will find their way to you. This is how transformation in these three pillars becomes the foundation for an entirely new chapter of your life, one that feels not just different, but deeply, unshakably yours. Scorpio, the transformation unfolding for you now moves like a three-act story written in the language of the stars, each chapter carrying its own rhythm, its own emotional weight, and its own invitation for you to grow beyond what you thought possible. The first act, revelation, is already beginning to stir. In the next 10 days, there is a high likelihood you will encounter something that cracks open your perception, a dream so vivid it feels like a message, a meeting that feels destined, or a sudden insight that cuts through confusion like a blade. This moment may not arrive with fanfare. In fact, it might slip quietly into your awareness, yet carry a weight that shifts your entire inner compass. At first, it could feel unsettling, as if the ground beneath you has tilted, but its purpose is to awaken you from the comfortable patterns that have kept you from fully stepping into the life you are meant to live. It is the universe's gentle but undeniable nudge, telling you there is more, and that more is waiting for you to claim it. From there, the second act begins, the collapse by design. Within 2 to 3 weeks after the revelation, something in your current world will begin to show its cracks. It may be a relationship that suddenly feels unsustainable, a job that no longer fits the person you are becoming, or a belief that, once central to your identity, now feels like an ill-fitting garment. These moments can feel like loss, but they are in truth the necessary clearing before new seeds can take root. Imagine a garden overgrown with weeds. The flowers you wish to grow cannot flourish unless space is made for them. This stage is rarely comfortable. It asks you to feel the grief of letting go while resisting the urge to cling to what is ending. Your role here is to allow the old to leave without resentment, to trust that its departure is part of a greater choreography meant to make room for what aligns with your future. Then comes the third act, rebirth. Around 1 to 1.5 months from now, you will feel the shift from release into renewal. This is the moment when you find the courage to say no to what drains you and yes to what nourishes your spirit. It is an unapologetic embrace of your truth, even if it leads you in a direction that feels unfamiliar or challenges the expectations others have of you. This stage brings a surge of clarity and boldness. You will find yourself making decisions with a sense of certainty you may not have felt in years. It is as if the person you were has finally stepped aside to let the person you are becoming take the lead. What is remarkable about this three-stage journey is that each phase is interdependent. Without revelation, you would not have the awareness to see what must end. Without the ending, you would not have the space to welcome what is new. Without the rebirth, the revelation would remain an unfulfilled promise. The process works as a whole, and while you cannot rush it, you can walk through it with intention and grace. You may notice that during these stages, your energy and emotions will move in cycles of expansion and contraction. Some days will feel like leaps forward, others like quiet pauses to catch your breath. Both are essential. These are not random fluctuations but part of the natural rhythm of transformation, a rhythm that honors both the courage it takes to change and the gentleness it takes to heal along the way. By understanding this sequence and leaning into it instead of resisting, you become an active participant in your own transformation. You are not a passive observer of fate, you are the one choosing to meet each stage with awareness, to work with the forces shaping your path rather than against them. And as you do, you will find that what emerges on the other side is not simply a new chapter, but a new version of you, more aligned, more resilient, and more alive than ever before. Scorpio, part of what makes this moment so potent for you is that it challenges one of your deepest instincts, the desire to maintain control. You are a sign that thrives on understanding the depths, on navigating the unseen currents beneath the surface. Yet now, the energy moving through your life is asking you to loosen your grip, to trust a process that cannot be mapped in advance. It is like standing in a river. If you fight the flow, you exhaust yourself. If you allow it to carry you, you discover it knows the way far better than you do. This is not about surrendering your power, but about redirecting it. Instead of forcing events to bend to your will, you are being invited to align your will with the greater movement already unfolding. The paradox is that in letting go, you step into a higher form of mastery, one built not on control, but on trust, adaptability, and grace under change. The reason this can feel uncomfortable is because true elevation often begins with a descent. To rise, you sometimes have to release the ground you have been standing on, even if it feels safe. This is the moment where you step off the ledge, not because you know exactly where your feet will land, but because you can feel, deep down, that you were never meant to stay in that same spot. It's the kind of leap that strips away illusions, leaving you with only what is real, what is essential, and what will endure. As this energy builds, the universe often leaves signs along your path, breadcrumbs to let you know you are on the right track. These signs may come as vivid dreams, often involving water, endings, or long journeys, dreams that leave you waking with the sense that they carried more truth than fiction. You may notice certain numbers repeating: 9, 13, 22 each carrying its own vibration of closure, transformation, and building a new foundation. You might feel a pull to withdraw from noise and distraction, to spend more time in stillness or in writing down your thoughts. Even small disruptions, like technology glitches or unexpected changes in communication, can be signals that an old circuit in your life is shutting down to make way for a new one. Shifts in your sleep or energy patterns are another clue your body and spirit recalibrating for what's ahead. How you meet these signs will shape the ease or difficulty of your transition. This is the time to ground yourself daily. Imagine roots extending from your feet deep into the earth, anchoring you no matter how strong the current above becomes. Keep a journal dedicated to this period. Record dreams, synchronicities, and emotional shifts. Over time, you'll begin to see patterns you might otherwise miss, a map revealing itself in real time. Surround yourself with a small circle of trusted allies, people who can hold space for your growth without projecting their own fears or agendas onto your choices. You will also be called to act more decisively. Scorpios are known for deep analysis, but the coming phase may require quicker, more intuitive decisions. Practice now by setting small time limits on daily choices, trusting your first instinct rather than overthinking. This strengthens the muscle you'll need when bigger crossroads appear. And consider creating your own ritual of release, perhaps writing down the situations, habits, or beliefs that no longer serve you, burning the paper, and then returning those ashes to the earth while planting something new in their place. This act becomes a physical expression of your inner transformation. The more you engage with these practices, the more you shift from feeling at the mercy of change to being in conscious partnership with it. You cannot stop the river from flowing, but you can choose how you travel within it. And in choosing to move with it, you discover that every twist and turn has been carrying you toward exactly where you were meant to be. Scorpio, within the intensity of what you're walking through lies a treasure. Most people overlook the hidden opportunities that only reveal themselves when old layers fall away. Change often feels like loss at first because your focus is drawn to what is leaving. But if you look closer, you'll see that each ending is also creating the precise space needed for something rare and valuable to take root. One of the greatest gifts of this cycle is the release of patterns that didn't begin with you but have traveled through your family line for generations. These patterns might be subtle, a reflex to hold back your voice, an inherited fear of stepping into your full power, or an unspoken belief that love must be earned through sacrifice. When you begin to notice and break these cycles, you're not only freeing yourself, you're shifting the energetic inheritance for those who come after you. This is the kind of transformation that ripples far beyond your own lifetime. As those old bonds loosen, you'll also notice something stirring inside you, a set of abilities or qualities that were always there but have been muted by layers of conditioning. For Scorpio, this awakening often takes the form of heightened intuition, a sharper sense of knowing that bypasses logic, and the natural magnetism that draws the right people and resources toward you. You might feel a sudden urge to explore a skill or interest you set aside years ago, or discover that your presence alone has a healing effect on others. These are not random developments. They are the reactivation of tools you will need for the next chapter of your life. It's as though the universe has been holding these gifts in reserve, waiting for you to have both the strength and the clarity to use them well. This process naturally leads you toward a deeper understanding of your life's true mission. Purpose isn't always revealed in a single lightning bolt moment. Sometimes it unfolds gradually, piece by piece, through the very experiences you thought were detours or delays. As the noise of outdated commitments and misaligned relationships fades, you begin to hear your own inner directive more clearly. You may find that your mission is less about chasing a specific title or achievement and more about embodying a certain quality of being, one that shapes everything you touch. Aligning with this sense of mission changes the way you spend your time, the way you speak, the way you choose. It creates a sense of coherence between your inner world and your outer actions that feels both grounding and exhilarating. Part of this alignment is reflected in your relationships. When you shift at this level, the connections that remain in your life will be those built on truth, mutual respect, and unconditional support. There is a profound difference between a bond maintained out of habit or fear of loneliness and a bond that thrives because both people are committed to growth and authenticity. You will start to recognize the difference instantly. Those who can walk alongside you without trying to dim your light will become part of your inner circle. Those who resist your evolution may naturally drift away. This isn't about judgment, it's about resonance. And in this new space, you will find that the relationships you attract feel lighter, more expansive, and more nourishing to your spirit. What makes these opportunities so extraordinary is that they arise not in spite of the upheaval you're facing, but because of it. The same energy that dismantles the old structures in your life is the energy that clears the runway for what is truly yours to arrive. By meeting these shifts with openness rather than resistance, you allow the deeper purpose of this season to emerge. This is how transformation stops being something that happens to you and becomes something you actively shape, using it as a bridge toward the life that has been waiting for you all along. Scorpio, as we reach the close of this journey together today, I want you to hold one truth close to your heart. This event is not happening to you, it is happening for you. Every twist in the road, every door that closes, every unfamiliar turn you are being asked to take, they are not punishments or random disruptions. They are part of a careful, deliberate unfolding meant to align you with a life that fits you in ways your past could not. Just as a rose blooms most vividly after enduring the coldest winter, you are stepping into a season where your resilience and beauty will reveal themselves in their fullest expression. You may not see the entire picture yet, and that's okay. Transformation rarely arrives with a neatly drawn map. It often begins with a whisper, a nudge, a shift in the wind that you can feel but cannot yet name. And that is why trusting the process becomes your greatest act of courage right now. The universe and the intricate energies moving through your chart are working on your behalf in ways you might not fully understand. But one day you will look back and see how every piece fell into place exactly as it was meant to. This is your invitation to stand fully present in your own becoming. To take the practices, the insights, and the signs we've explored together and weave them into your daily life. What will you release to make space for what's coming? Which relationships will you nurture, and which patterns will you no longer carry? How will you honor your intuition when it speaks, even if it asks you to take a leap before you feel ready? These are not just questions for reflection, they are doorways to the life you are building with each conscious choice. Your next chapter will be shaped not only by the cosmic currents around you, but by your willingness to step into them with an open heart. Even in the uncertainty, remember that you are not powerless. You are a co-creator in this transformation. And every small action you take in alignment with your truth sends a clear signal to the universe: I am ready. Before we part, I want to thank you for being here, for showing up for yourself, for your growth, and for the journey we've shared today. Every time you watch, like, comment, share, or subscribe, you help keep this space alive. You help us at Miracle of the Sign continue to bring you messages that inspire, guide, and empower. From the depths of my heart, I am grateful for your presence, because your energy here matters. So, if you felt the stirrings of change, if the signs we've spoken about today have already begun to touch your life, I invite you to declare it now. Leave a comment below that says, I am ready, so we can acknowledge this moment together and welcome in the breakthrough you've been preparing for. Stay with this process, trust what is unfolding, and know that you are far more prepared for this shift than you realize. Your season of blooming has arrived. Step into it fully, and watch how your life begins to mirror the beauty you've been carrying within all along.